Good day, everybody. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and welcome to Practitioner's Corner. Now, what is that? Well, this is where we have a discussion with people that at one time they weren't practitioners. They wanted to be practitioners, but guess what? We all have this illusion that we're not smart enough, okay? Or that who could afford it. The reality is I want to talk about real people when it comes to Practitioner's Corner. We're going to talk about real people with real dreams that follow through on their dreams, because understand something. Does this world need practitioners that know how to create the perfect day for people on an emotional and physical and nutritional and detox level? I'd say so. Would you say that the old system of healthcare is working? I don't think so. When 80% of the population has an autoimmune disease, okay? When 80% of the population is pre-diabetic, when 80% of the population is what? Overweight, and 40% are obese, okay? So the reality is we've been ruled, schooled, and fooled by corporations long enough. And the other thing is that there's nobody guarding the hen house. Well, who's that? Well, that would be the government. The FDA, it doesn't matter what system you're talking about, they actually don't work for you. But we work for you. Anyways, with me today is Jon Kilik. How you doing, Jon?
Fabulous. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Jon came from the Arctic. No, he didn't.
Well, not quite.
No, but he came from up there, didn't you? Where are you from, Jon?
Northern Alberta, a small town, Valley View, Alberta. And my partner and I, Robin, we have a small clinic there. And we practice the Wolfe Non-Surgical deep tissue, emotional consults, and nutritional consults.
Yeah, and, well, understand something. Well, he did say small, but...
Yeah.
I want to go back to before they were practitioners and kind of walk through their story, because understand something. Stories are really important. You know why they're important? Well, except real stories are important. And I'll tell you why they're important, because we all have dreams and we all want to go forward with those dreams. So whether or not you want to become a practitioner or not, or you want to become a great ice skater, or you want to become a great author, I don't know, whatever it is, you need to understand we're all the same. There's just one difference. You need to follow through and follow your dreams. So, Jon, how busy is your practice?
Oh, we're extremely busy. It's exceeding our expectations. When Robin first decided to take the whole life coach and the Wolfe Non-Surgical training, and
how long ago was that?
She started practicing 2.5 years ago.
When did she take the first whole life coach?
2.5 years ago. She started practicing exactly the day she...
Okay, so 2.5 years ago, she came and took the whole life coach certification.
Yeah.
Yeah. But why did she come?
She was looking for a change. We came from a belief system that the community that we grew up in was a farming community, hardworking people.
Right.
You have to work hard in order to have any self-worth, in order to make anything of yourself. And that belief system was basically dragging us down and making us unhealthy. And she knew she needed a change. I knew we both needed a change. And
what did you do? What is it that you did?
We had a oil field business.
Yeah.
We worked together for 17 years, working hard with this oil field business and having that mentality of head down, butt up, and you got to give her every day, otherwise. Your last day of work you're only as good as your last day's work, right? So it was a hard working mentality, and it was just making us unhealthy. Sure, we made a lot of money, but at what cost?
And what was your relationship like before she came to the course?
Well, we thought we had a good relationship, just like everybody else.
Why did you think you had a good one?
Because it was okay.
Why was it okay? Like, I want to know the specifics.
Yeah, like it was...
Hey, don't you want to know?
Yeah.
I want to know.
We got to work together. We got to travel together. It wasn't like a lot of relationships.
And you didn't fight, is that what you're saying?
We didn't fight, but then how much did we communicate?
I don't know, how much did you?
Not very much. So, we spent a lot of time together, and we did not communicate much at all. It was hard sometimes, and but we made it work, just like how everybody else makes it work. But we both recognized that wasn't healthy.
But it was work.
It was work. And we were working towards the same goal, but the goal that we had wasn't the right goal.
Okay, so compared to then and now, we'll go through. I want to know the whole story because this is what this is. This should be called Gossip Corner.
Yeah.
You hang in there. We'll get there.
Yeah. So basically, once Robin took the whole life coach the first time, she came home and my feeling was, she just took another course and things are just going to carry on the way they were. And I noticed the difference right away. Her, she had some life to her. She was energetic.
That was an 8-day course.
It was an 8-day course.
And understand, my 8-day course is the most. It's the deepest emotional course that you'll ever take.
Yeah, and she took the whole combined course. She took the 8-day whole life coach, followed up with the Wolfe Non-Surgical,
which is 11 days.
And she came home and said she's done working in the oil field. And
how'd you feel about that? Did it scare you a little?
It scared me because I was a person that was full of fear, didn't want to step outside the box. We can't do that because we're not going to have enough, financial abundance. Like, how is this going to work, right? And she basically started within a week of getting home from the training course.
What did she do?
She went and she rented an office space, got some bolsters and a mat and a massage chair, and didn't look back after that.
Yeah, so how did things go with you and her? Because you didn't come right away.
No, I didn't come right away.
But Robin did come. How many times before you came? Was it just the once, or she came twice?
On her second time of the full combined course,
right.
I came only for the physical side. I did not come for the emotional side.
He could only stick his toe in.
Yeah.
Because everybody can do the physical right away.
Yeah.
But we are taught, don't go into the emotional, because once you go in there, you may never get out. It's like Hotel California. You check in, you're not getting out, because guess what? There's a bad girl and a bad boy in there. Why did you only take the non-surgical? I know you had an excuse that you had to get back to work. But really,
there was no way I could have handled that emotional side. I wasn't ready for it. There was, the depression, the anger, the fear that.
Well, let's tell everybody about who Jon was before he came the first time. Who is Jon?
Yeah, I was a grown man that never had. I was never a kid. I never.
Why?
Sure, I got to play hockey and I got to do sports and stuff like that, but I really, truly, somewhere along the lines, what I realize now is that I'd lost my childhood spirit. I lost that fun edge to me. There was so much work to be done, and you had to do work first in order to survive, and that was the belief. And
what was the day? What was the moment? Just think about this. What was the day? What was the moment? I know the day and the moment of the tipping point of me losing my spirit.
Yeah.
I can tell you, Mom, it's not about me, but I can tell you, like, it is so clear in here. But, I did a lot of, backtracking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I'm still working through that. I grabbed that moment and I think, okay, well, this is that moment that it was. But then all of a sudden I grabbed something else and I'm like, well, that was the moment that it was.
And do you know why you can't find it yet? Because your subconscious wants to protect you. Yeah. Because at the time that you actually snapped, right? You didn't really snap, but your spirit just went boom. Okay? It said, wow, you know what? That could have killed you then, and we're going to protect you for the rest of your life and make sure that you never see that again, because it could kill you now.
Exactly.
Because your subconscious doesn't think. It's just a program.
Yeah, so it's been most people would think, to go back into your history.
Well, how old were you, do you think?
Oh, I had to have been 3-4 years old, maybe 5.
Really, that early?
It was that early. Yeah, it was very, very early. And, we always had lots of family, lots of people that, loved me. And there's always lots of people around, but yet I was still alone. I always had that alone feeling growing up. And
Did you feel incapable? Is that it? Did you feel incapable or no?
Yeah, I was incapable. I wasn't capable. I wasn't worthy of doing a good enough job for anybody. And which now looking back on that belief that was, that grabbed my subconscious has been one of the main beliefs that I've had to get rid of, because, I am who I am, and I am going to do what I want. I'm going to be in control of my life, and I'm going to have my own beliefs.
Okay, so let's go back to why you only took the first time you came with Robin. You only took the body work, right?
Yeah. So I was only going to dip my toe in the body work because Robin was so busy. I had to get involved in what she was doing because I had to help her out.
But why did you really get involved?
Because I saw that the direction Robin was going, I respected and honored her enough that if I didn't come and do what she was doing, I would get left behind. Right. So it was a point where.
Do you mean left behind? You wouldn't stay together, or just left behind in the corner, and she's living her life, and you're going, whoa.
Yeah, and it was come to my realization. It wasn't before I came for the body work. It was during the body work course, the Wolfe Non-Surgical course, that I realized that if I don't get my life together and have some self-love, some self-care, the way Robin was getting her life together and her self-care and her self-love, that we weren't going to be compatible anymore. There was no way that relationship would have survived. And like I said, I respected her and honored her enough that I wasn't going to make her to try to lift me up out of the chair. I'm going to have to get out of that chair myself and rise up and be the person that I wanted to be, and which made our relationship that much stronger. Because when I have better self-love, or when I have self-love for myself and self-care for myself, it's a lot easier to love somebody else.
Right. So would you say that you were compatible before you came to the course, or compatibly uncomfortable, or just
compatibly uncomfortable? Because it was a relationship, and you never want to end any relationship, because what are people going to think? You don't worry about what you think. You worry about what everybody else thinks. And
so now, what do you think?
As far as what do you think about our relationship?
Well, what do you think about what everybody else thinks?
Nothing. I don't care.
Right. You can't care. You can't care.
You
can't care. It's none of their business, actually. It's your business.
Yeah, and until and that comes from the fact that you always judge people. You judge yourself. The more you judge yourself, the more you judge other people.
Yeah.
And I don't judge myself. I don't care what other people think. I don't care. I do what I want.
Yeah. And remember something, when Jon's saying this, because if you're just new on the show or watching this, you're going to find that your beliefs are going to bombard with ours, because he doesn't mean he doesn't care what people think, that he disrespects people.
No.
He's just saying that for the first time in his life, not first time, but for the first, he's recognizing that if you don't totally honor and respect yourself, then, hey, listen, it's going to be a bumpy road.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you came for the Wolfe Non-Surgical. That was the second time that Robin...
Yeah, that was her second.
That was her second time.
Yeah.
So Robin came for the whole life coach and the Wolfe Non-Surgical.
No, sorry, that was her third time.
It was her third time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, you were.
Yeah, I was way behind.
Wow, you were dragging butt.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder it was her third time. So she was becoming a master practitioner, and he was going.
Yeah, it was my first time here. She became a master practitioner.
Yeah,
that's correct. Yeah. So I had, like I said, I either had to rise up, and
you could just barely see her exhaust.
Exactly. Yeah.
So anyway, so you came to take the first Wolfe Non-Surgical course.
Yeah.
How did you feel after that? What did that make you? What did that make you think? Or
it was very exhausting. It was.
Can I say something too? We didn't practice this, did we?
No.
No. This is just so you know.
Yeah. So it was like somebody has a big pot, and you just stir the big pot of soup, and it was, I had all these emotions and these old beliefs that were just bubbling, and a lot of this stuff was ready to come out anyways.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize it, and everything just spewed over. It was a pretty tough couple weeks heading home. Actually, no, it wasn't. Within 10 days, I took the whole life coach, because we went to Florida right after that. Yeah. And then I took the whole life coach in Florida for the first time. And then after that, it exploded, and I realized that I wasn't doing this for Robin. I wasn't doing this for everybody else. I was doing this for me, because it was. I definitely recognized that if I didn't do this, the path I was on wasn't a good one at all.
You know what? Why can't you just love your life?
Yeah.
Why can't you love your life to the point, like right now, where we're in the middle of this COVID scam, and I can say that because I'm allowed to have my opinion. And the reality is, I want to ask you this seriously. Yeah. So here we got probably one of the most traumatic things going on that we can remember in history, on a global scale.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where would you say your confidence is, even though this is going on, compared to before you started even taking any courses?
I don't even think about COVID.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening out there is happening. I'm doing my thing.
That's it.
And a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I'd be crapping my drawers. I'd be panicking. I'd be worried about finances. I'd be worried about work. I'd be worrying about all kinds of things, and I'd be monkey minding it all the time and driving myself crazy, trying to think of what am I going to do. Whereas now it's calm.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm going to do, and if things don't work out this direction, we're just going to go this direction.
Right. So I want everybody to try to grasp this, because I know it's going to be difficult, because we're all programmed. And the reality is, if you haven't spent 10 or 20 years going to school, then you're just a doctor's fool. But the reality is this, we're talking about, so I have a 21-day course, and Robin took it 3 times, and this is your third time. Yeah, so now he becomes a master practitioner. And you can think that this is a joke, but remember something. I'm the only clinic and the only training that offers a money-back guarantee that we're going to not outdo anybody else, but outdo your beliefs about you not being able to be worthy as a practitioner or good enough that you can heal your own self from anything that you created, because you created it, right? So let's talk about where exactly are you in Alberta?
Valley View, Alberta. It's a town in northern Alberta.
Okay.
Yeah.
And whereabouts is that again?
Near Grand Prairie, Alberta. We're about an hour east of Grand Prairie, Alberta. Grand Prairie is a major city.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question here.
Yeah.
When you came, did you feel like, see, a lot of people would probably feel kind of desperate, right? They're stuck in their life, and they're just hoping the heck that what I say I can follow through on, and that I'm right, that you do have it. You had it easier than most. Because Robin came and plowed the field.
Oh, exactly.
And she was like, she got home the first time she took the course. Wow, talk about insanity.
Yeah.
Okay, but for some people, they'd say that's insane. So the reality is you guys are full blast, full time, aren't you?
Yeah, full blast. We closed our oil field business down about a year and a half ago. And,
yeah.
It's been no turning back. And earlier I said a small clinic, but as I've been thinking about it, we do a lot of treatments.
Why don't you tell them what you do in treatments in a week?
Yeah.
And you need to really understand this, okay, and grasp this. They're busy for one reason, because they're amazing. So you need to get that. And you're from a small town, Grand Prairie. Go look it up.
Yeah.
And understand something. You better be good, because people got to travel.
Yeah, and that's kind of how we haven't advertised much, but you slowly work on a few people. They tell a few friends. They tell some family. We have people traveling from all over Alberta and northern BC coming to see us now.
So how many treatments would you and Robin are you doing in a week? Let's say
with the Wolfe Non-Surgical, we do about 30, averaging 30 a week. Sometimes it bumps up a little bit higher.
Between the two?
Between the two of us. Yeah.
30. Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't. Then another half a dozen to 10 emotional and nutritional consults as well. So we split up our time,
and we don't want figures, but how does that look financially for you and Robin?
2020 will be one of our best years ever.
Best years ever. So you need to get this, and you need to understand something. You're limited by your beliefs and nothing else. And understand, I know we're coming into an economic time that's going to be a little bit of a crunch, but the reality is what do people always want? What do they want? They want to find their joy.
Yeah.
They want to find a healing.
Yeah.
And understand something. We're going to do that. Okay? Listen, whatever you focus on, you get. So what are you and Robin focusing on now?
We're just focusing on growing our clinic We have a really good base. We have really good experience. We've had some extremely tough cases, and as you
Like what? What kind of cases?
we've had
Just so you understand something, this is an Inky Dinky Schnitzel house, okay? So what do we get? Do you want to know what our practitioners get?
yes,
They get what everybody can't fix. Did you get what I just said? They get what everybody can't fix. So you need to get that. Sorry, sir, we can't do anything for you. You'll have to go home, or we'll send you to a specialist.
yeah. One of my most favorite clients was a fellow that he had scoliosis surgery about 10 years ago.
Right.
His first one. They went in, put some rods in, didn't work. The doctor says, well, we got to go back in again. On the second surgery, they nicked his spinal cord, and he's still able to walk and stuff. They said within the next few years, you're going to be in a wheelchair, and you're going to spend the rest of your life in a wheelchair. We started working on him last January, so that's basically 10 and a half, 11 months. The family had his wheelchair ordered. It was supposed to arrive at the end of January, and by the time end of January rolled around, he was getting around the house with his walker. And this summer, he had one of the best summers of his life since the surgery. Oh, and then he also had Parkinson's as well. So just to throw that in there.
Is the Parkinson's gone yet?
It's so when I first would work on him, it was almost you couldn't even work on him. He was shaking so bad.
Yeah.
And his last treatment, you couldn't even tell that he had a shake. So
I want you guys to understand something.
Yeah.
Okay? Take the in off of incurable, and take the I am off of impossible, and understand something. Not all, but most of the systems that are created out there, okay, they're all of the beliefs that if they don't fit a certain pigeonhole of drug surgery, then it's not going to work. So understand something. Nobody regulates us. Nobody tells us what to do. And that's really important, because with them we're allowed to be truthful all the way.
Yeah, and his sickness was carrying over to the whole family. His wife, she had major shoulder issues and arm issues. She couldn't even lift her arms up because somebody had to take care of him.
Yeah.
She didn't want to be the one taking care of him, so she physically or emotionally created a physical blockage just so bad in her upper body that she needed somebody to take care of. So then the daughter had to step up to take care of both of them, and she's getting sick as well. And the tension that used to be in that household because we'd have to go to their place to do the treatments.
Right.
And it was uncomfortable to be there at first, but now that house is filled with so much love, and you pull in the driveway, you can just feel it, and it's amazing.
See, when you can become a practitioner that understands that the condition a person is in is more important than the condition they have, and then work towards it, you win. Because that's why it's only temporary, everyone.
Yeah.
Because unless you're going to change parts of your personality, you can't change parts of your sickness reality.
Yeah. And it wasn't the treatments that we were doing. We also trained them a lot, the clapping. We did do some work with the calcium,
Right.
pelvic stretches, the Addison, the Biotrol night. So every time we went there, we gave them a little, helped them out a little bit more on the training side of things, so that when we come back, we weren't just leaving right where we left off. We're coming back to people that were even better than when we left them the time before, because they were doing stuff on their own, and that's what's going to heal you. I'm not going to heal you, and Dr. Wolfe's never going to heal you. You have to heal yourself. But you also have to know how to do that. Yeah. Which we can provide that training. Yeah.
So you've worked on pretty well everything from the...
Yeah, and then, so we've had 2 bad cases of prostate cancer.
Yeah.
And we had another extreme case of a lady with migraines all her life. She'd get migraines for up to 2.5 months at a time. And after 2 treatments, she hasn't had a migraine since. So it's,
Yeah, and I know it's going to be hard for you people to believe it, but you need to understand something. And when I say this, maybe I shouldn't have called it that, but it's called Wolfe Non-Surgical because we don't want it to get mixed up with any other body work or any other deep tissue, because there's nothing that compares. And understand something. That's why we will offer, and every practitioner that comes to our training will offer a money back guarantee on the first treatment. They'll do more than all the other treatments combined.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, how's life looking for you then?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Unlimited.
Yeah. So you and Robin, you're going back, and you've got a really busy week next week.
Yeah. Both Rob and I are booked up all next week, and into the following week we have a family coming in the following week to get some personal treatments done.
Personal treatment and training.
So they're traveling a long ways, and they'll spend 3 to 5 days there with us, and we'll work on the non-surgical. We'll work on the nutritional side, because without the nutritional changes, a lot of the body work isn't.
Well, that's why nothing lasts.
It's going to help, but it's not going to last.
No, nothing will last.
And I don't want to be the practitioner that keeps seeing you all the time. I want you to, see you for a bit and have you go away and take care of yourself.
Yeah, and what a thrill it is, to be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. I mean, society cripples us, and
it's so nice to, get a phone call from previous clients that, they're not phoning you back to say, oh, my headache's back again, or my shoulder's giving me grief. Yeah, they do get a little bit of touch up here and there, but you hear from them, and it's good stories. I feel so amazing. Or you check in on them, and I haven't talked to you for a couple months. Are you doing okay? Well, yeah, absolutely. I haven't felt this good, and they can't remember when they felt that good. So it's just so satisfying and rewarding to be able to provide that.
So your first time you took the course was how long ago?
Year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell them what happened? Like, where were you with? We already talked a little bit about your personality. How did your personality change, and how did you change physically and emotionally?
Yes.
Can you let us know about that?
Yeah. So of course, I wasn't gonna dive into my emotions. It's just that's who I was, and
that's who we all are.
That's who we all are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I knew that. I knew I wasn't healthy, but I didn't know how unhealthy I was. And, for example, I was definitely overweight. I wasn't happy with work. I was making the relationship with me and Robin, making it work. Like it was pretty much a normal life compared to everybody else. But yet I didn't know any different. And so once I realized that yes, I need to do some changes, I got home, and the next 4 months I just set aside and said, okay, this is my time. I lost 55 pounds in 4.5 months with the Perfect Day diet and 2 advanced water fastings. So a drastic physical change, right? I was here in May, and when I walked in here in November, a lot of people were shocked that it was me. So it was kind of neat.
You lost 55 pounds?
55 pounds in 4.5 months.
So he didn't lose 55 pounds of weight. He lost 55 pounds of waste. Toxic waste, chemicals, and
emotions.
And emotions. That's what it all is. Yeah. So there's the burden right there.
And I and the emotional side, I was still dealing with, the depression. It was I had that cloud around me that. It was just a shell around me, and I couldn't get
First to come, last to go.
Exactly.
First to come, last to go.
Yeah, so it's, and it's just like anything else, and I'm the type of person that I have to have it now, so I really struggled with, things weren't moving fast enough for me, but then...
But what were you struggling with? Like, what parts of your personality were you struggling with where you were going, oh my God, I should have... See, here's the thing. We are taught to be impatient with ourselves.
Yeah, I wasn't very patient at all.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fear and anxiety. The depression was there, and it was very deep. But as I got rid of the depression, the emotion of anger started coming out. And that's what I think was fueling the whole fire to begin with. And anger about what? The smallest, things that didn't matter. But yet they were fueling the fire. And
okay. Let's talk about something here. I want to bring this right up to today.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. Yesterday, Jon got a heart release, but I want you to tell him about the first time I did the heart release on you. Do you mind if I start it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first time we did the heart release, okay? Okay, so here we have the heart on the left side, so your chest, right? So take a look, everyone. Lay down at home and check out men more than women, but it can happen with women too. And what you got to do is, with Jon, how high was it, Jon? It was 3/4 of an inch or an inch?
No, it was more than that. Because after losing all that weight, I was basically, when I got on the table, I was basically a skeleton laying there. So it was close to 1.5 inches, inch and a quarter, 1.5 inches.
And it can go up as high as 2 inches to 3 inches. Now, did you hear what I said? In the difference. And meanwhile, the person's not left-handed.
No.
They're right-handed usually. And so it's like, you can't dispute it. And what it is, it's scar tissue and calcium.
Yeah.
And that's why we have the heart attacks.
Exactly.
That's why we have the angina. That's why we have pectoral pain in this area all the time. That's why we have breathing problems. And it's all this heart related.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, why don't you talk about the first time I worked on you and what you experienced, and then talk about, he's here right now helping, helping teach, okay, an online practitioner course, all right? So anyway, Sage worked on him yesterday, but let's go back to that time and then let's walk through what you've experienced.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but it's exactly a year ago today when Dr. Wolfe went in, and it was funny because I coming to the course that time, one of my goals was to have a heart release done, because after losing all that weight, I still had high blood pressure, and I was eating good and fresh and raw, the water fasting, but yet I still had an extremely high blood pressure, and
because he couldn't let go.
Exactly. So walking in that morning, and Dr. Wolfe said, "Oh, we're doing a heart release. Who wants their heart released?" And I looked at you and you said, "Yeah, we're gonna do this today." So and it was literally once I got on that table, and I didn't realize it at the time, but you could take your fingers, and it was 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches across. And so once you started working, you found the right on the bottom of my sternum.
Yeah.
It was about half the size of a golf ball, a calcium ball there.
Yeah.
Which went up to.
Yeah, it was actually it was like came up here, and it actually went right up into his heart.
And it went down in between.
Yeah.
So you spent about 20 minutes on it. And it was very emotional. There was no pain to the treatment itself. It was more the pain of the emotions releasing. There was a lot of, I sweated lots. There was, I remember some of the other practitioners were here at the time. They went to grab my feet, and I'd kick at them. It was a very angry experience. And it was about 20 minutes, and I could just feel everything lift off of me. And I went outside, and it was a bit of a cooler morning, and it was just, you couldn't hear no birds, no traffic. It was just complete bliss. It was just silent, and the tears and the emotions and my body was trembling with just everything that was going on. But it was just like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders, and when I remember breathing that fresh air in, and my lungs just filled up. I don't remember ever my lungs filling up that much with that nice, beautiful, crisp air. And
we all allow ourselves to only live so much, right? Yeah. It's like the paper tiger that has no teeth, but he's always after you.
Yeah.
So, you don't want to breathe too big. You don't want to be too proud of yourself, right?
Yeah. So then, so I come back into class, and we chatted about it, and pretty much at that moment, I let some major stuff go from childhood over my teenage years and into my adult years, and that even though I did all the nutritional and lost all that weight, that heart release, I truly believe is what was the turning point in my life. And just so grateful that everything turned out that way, because I probably within a couple to 5 years I wouldn't have been here if I had stayed on that path. So or would have had a major disease of some sort, or heart disease. And so when I got home after the course, I hadn't even thought about my blood pressure from that time on, and then Robin asked, "I wonder what your blood pressure is like now that you had the heart release," and it was perfectly normal.
Well, it's all about the heart, isn't it?
It's all about the heart.
The heart has to pump harder.
Yeah.
Okay? And understand something. High blood pressure there's a heart problem. Low blood pressure is because there's too many blocks all over the body.
Yeah.
But high blood pressure there's a heart problem. And that can be fixed. Everyone, just know this. You don't have to live with it. It's a symptom of an angry, empty, sad heart.
Yeah.
And because your heart is the recorder of your emotions, good and bad. And the reality is you already heard his story. So let's go back to his story. You got to work hard to survive, right? Okay. Jon, be a man.
Yeah.
Suck it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
we've all been told that, right?
Yeah. And then since then, any emotions I need to let go, they're easy to let go. Whether it's whether I need to cry or whether I need to go for a walk, whether I need to, just scream out into the river valley. I can control them, not control them, but I know when I need to do a release, and I'm not going to let that stuff build up inside me anymore.
Allowing yourself to feel is the only way that you'll enjoy this world. Yeah. And here's the deal. We kind of got sucker punched. Women already have that. They're born with knowing how to feel. We don't want to listen to them. God, no, we don't. But the reality is a mother's instinct. We always know about that. Yeah. And men have it too, but they have to go in and touch their feminine side, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you say you're more feminine now?
Yeah.
No, but not physically, but emotionally, you'll listen to Robin more, won't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You'll open up more, won't you?
Yeah, and it's not just listening to what she has to hear. It's listening to what she has to hear, what I need to hear, or not what I need to hear. Listening to what the conversation is,
feeling what's behind their words.
Feeling the conversation.
Yeah. So we are emotional bodies. There's nothing wrong with that. But getting in touch and learning how to master your emotions is the holy grail. And that's not what's going on in our society right now, is it?
No, absolutely not.
That's why everybody that's taken our course is like always going to be busy, no matter what the economics are going to be, because everybody wants health. And the reality is please don't get me wrong, but once you've gone to all the other ones.
Yeah, and now, getting back to my high blood pressure, I knew I didn't want to go through the medical system, but I didn't know what else was out there. And, and Robin.
You do what you do.
Yeah, you do what you do. You deal with it until, you play around with it until something major happens.
Yeah, you're not broken.
No.
The system is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the system, I'm not picking on the medical system, I'm saying that we're broken here mentally, that we don't realize the power we have. Yeah. Absolutely. So anyways, you had the first one, so.
Yeah, so then now yesterday.
Here's yesterday.
Yeah, so I did still, Robin has worked on it a few times, but more of a breast treatment, not an actual heart release. And there was a larger piece of calcium that was still there, and it was protruding out, but it kind of tucked in behind the rib.
How big was it? An inch?
It was like a good grape.
Yeah.
A little bit, a nice big green grape. And then there was another one just up a little bit higher, but it was tucked down in between the rib. Mm-hmm. And then there was another piece that was up in the collarbone, which kind of stemmed up from the one that was in the center. And it came apart nice. Sage, at the time, same thing again. It was no pain to the treatment itself, but there was some sweating, some heat coming off, some kicking of the feet. And after the treatment, I felt fine. I said, "Oh, this, we're done with this." And so I got back to the Airbnb and did my evening routine, and I felt a little bit off. And now I can recognize that when I feel off. I never would before. I just let it brew and brew and brew for hours and weeks and months or whatever it would be, right? Whereas now we got to nip this thing in the bud. So I did a water enema and felt much relief after that. Went to bed, had a phenomenal sleep, and woke up in the morning very well rested, but there was still something agitating me So
when you open up the physical, you're going to release some emotional, and it will get caught in another dam or another block. Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah. So recognizing it again, I can't carry on my day being off, right? I got to be.
Well, because you want to win every day. You want to win every day.
I want to win every day, and I'm going to be better every day.
Yeah.
So I'll come the enema bucket and got rid of that, and I stepped out of the house, and it was almost the same breath of air that I had a year ago. Breathed that in, and it's about a 10-minute walk to where I had to go, and it was a good emotional release on the way, and tears were flowing, and got to Dr. Wolfe's place, and felt fine. It was I'm going to carry on my day, and then I felt refreshed, I felt rejuvenated, and I'm doing what I want, and I'm back in control of who I am.
And if I can say something, we've been taught that you don't let go of tears. You don't do that. But understand, in those tears, you're melting.
Yeah.
You're melting all of the icebergs that were in there, irritating your tissues, your nerves. And it was just a storage shed for being unable to love oneself. What do you do? What do you do when you don't honor yourself? You dishonor yourself.
Absolutely. And I had done that for years.
We all have. Everybody, listen, everybody has done it. And guess what? We're still doing it. But at least we know when we smell smoke, how to put the fire out.
Yeah. Yeah, because before I would just suppress it, make it worse.
Yeah.
Whereas now, it can come and it'll go.
Yeah. So mastering your emotions is the only way to set yourself free on all levels, whether it's troubles with your finances, troubles with your relationships with yourself, your family, or the world, or a health situation that you got rid of it, but it keeps coming back. Because you can take a lot of energy and physically go in and work the body or take a million supplements. But the reality is, if you're not ready to let go parts of your personality that aren't you and that aren't supporting your authentic self, then what happens?
Yeah, and as a practitioner, I can't be an angry person because my treatments will be angry.
Yeah.
Like the more love I have for myself, the better of a treatment I'm going to be able to provide you with and help you find your self-love as well.
Yeah.
Because it's you have to look at your practitioner to see what condition they're in, because they can only help you as much as their emotions or their state that they're in.
Yeah, your practitioner can only give you what they have.
Exactly.
They can't give you what you don't have.
Yeah.
So when you go to a practitioner, you need to look at the condition they're in, not the condition they say they can fix.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can't sit here and say, well, I'm going to help you fix this issue or fix that issue if I'm not taking care of myself.
Yeah, well, you're definitely taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're definitely doing that.
Yeah.
So
and then which comes back to the relationship with Robin, because when you take two people that love themselves and then bring that relationship together,
boom.
There's nothing more beautiful than that, because it's I was never a spiritual type person. I wasn't. I didn't even know what a spirit was a year and a half ago. And when you do see it now and feel the energy around you, coming from a person that's never felt that before, it's pretty powerful, pretty amazing.
Well, I guess the amazing thing is knowing that you can tap into it because it's yours to have, because it never left.
Yeah.
There's no dark switch. We just dim down our own light.
Yeah, and it's almost like an addiction to it, because once you have that feeling, you want to hold on to that. So as soon as it starts slipping away, I'm going to do everything in my power to bring that back.
Yeah. Whereas before, You might get a little glimpse of it, but it was just like, what was that?
Yeah, but something else would just numb it out.
Yeah.
Your subconscious, right?
Yeah, but your subconscious is something that is important, but the thing is that not if you don't master it, because like we said earlier, and I think you can tell everybody this, is that it only runs programs. It doesn't care what program it is.
Yeah.
It can be one that's actually killing you at this moment or saving your life. But the reality is, the problem is with the subconscious is it has to be repeated 10,000 times. And would you say that you had to repeat everything 10,000 times to win it? So if you're not going to put the time in or the energy,
yeah, and it's not just 10,000 times; it's beyond that, because
with love and passion and boom.
Yeah, and looking back on it, I didn't have a whole lot of my own beliefs. You know, I had a small file folder of them, right? But they were really strong and deep rooted. And when I threw them all on the floor, it was panic time, because them beliefs were so deep rooted. And
but where were they? Give me a couple examples. Like what?
Just the work ethic. Like, it was just a matter of
don't relax, because guess what? It'll all be okay. No.
Yeah, like, we live on one of the most beautiful properties in northern Alberta, but yet we never took time to enjoy it up till now, because you have to work.
Because you were fearful about losing it.
Yeah, exactly. You have to work so hard to get it, but yet you have to keep working in order to keep it. But it was already mine. It was already ours.
Remember the story I told? Did I tell that yesterday? The story about how I owned a 16-acre ranch.
Yeah.
And the thing was paid off.
Yeah.
But I kept coming from this poverty mentality. So it didn't matter how much was in the bank. I could have been the biggest number, and the ranch was paid off. But the reality is, I had to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the belief of not. You have to worry about what everybody else thinks. That was a hard one, but I don't care what everybody else thinks.
Yeah.
It just matters what's here.
Yeah, and when he says that, let's make it really straight. I want to say it again. He doesn't care what other people think. He's also going to allow other people to have their beliefs. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really great when you no longer hate yourself or anyone else.
Yeah, no, that's right. And I guess it's
I know, you got to take it. Yeah.
Yeah, take it that next step. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of my friends and family, we don't have the same beliefs, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. They're still fun to be with.
Absolutely.
So anyway, tell everybody where you are, and tell them what your website is.
Yeah. So again, our clinic is in Valley View, Alberta. You can check us out on Facebook at Frequent Vitality, or go to our website, frequentvitality.com. You can look at the consults, the whole life, or the Wolfe Non-Surgical treatments, the PTTs. We have a library in there. With some flip books in it. You can also go to the library and go to ITIOH website, and there's the store. You can get all kinds of wonderful products. Well, they're more like treatments, not products. I like calling them treatments because that's So
we don't really we don't want to call them supplements because they don't deserve that.
No.
Okay.
No.
Everything that we do is very high vibrational and frequency wise.
Yeah.
I mean, just even out of all even just take our fulvic products. We have the best fulvic humic in the world. Our daily cleansing tea, nobody has anything like it.
Yeah.
The Merigen or any of the other SAC calcium products is the only calcium product in the world that'll totally rebuild your bones. Yeah. Think about that one. Yeah. There's a big claim to fame. Yeah. Okay, so.
Yeah. So like I said, Robin and I would both love to hear from anybody that's out there, and can go a little bit deeper on some of the stories we have to tell.
So if you live in Alberta.
Yeah.
Or if you live in northern BC.
Yeah.
Or northern Alberta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywhere, yeah.
Or Alaska.
Yeah. Or we can come to you too.
I'm kidding about it. How far is Alaska?
It's a ways, but it's okay. We'll make it work.
Yeah, we can make it work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So listen, everyone. There's a hidden practitioner in all of us, okay?
Absolutely.
And the day that you find enough brave heart inside of you to go in there and uncover and discover your authentic self will be the day that you release yourself from all the BS, okay? Dysfunctional belief systems that were in here that aren't yours. And I just want you to know something. God bless everybody. And you know what? Some people have such struggles. And the thing is one person will have a belief that is so undermining their life, and they have such a beautiful soul, such a beautiful heart. So understand, even when it comes to people wearing the mask, we know they're fearful people. Only fearful people are wearing those masks because there's no science to back them. So we got to think about not the mask. We have to think about the beliefs behind the mask. What's causing this? So make sure that you're there for each other. Make sure that we support each other. Make sure that we get to hang on to the life that we deserve. What do you think, Jon? Would you like to say anything?
Yeah, no, it's without where I am today, there's no way I'd be able to be out there to survive. I'm here to thrive, and that's the way it's going to happen, and that's the way I want it. And no matter what happens out there, me personally, me as a person, Robin and I together, we're a very, very powerful team. And no matter what happens out there, we will always have a definite plan on the direction that we're going to go. It's going to vary. It varies every day, but it's pretty powerful to be able to be in that situation, because there's a lot of people out there that are panicking right now. And
it's your perception.
Yeah.
Understand something. It's all about your perception. And we all have different lenses. Would you like us to change your lenses?
Yeah.
We can do that. Okay? Yeah. You can change your lenses. Okay? All right?
Yeah. It's easy to do.
Yeah.
It's easy to do.
Well, was it easy?
No, I can say that now though.
There you go.
That 6 months ago. No,
there you go.
It wasn't easy, but yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jon. No, seriously. And thank you for joining us. And know that I have my live Q&As every Monday. And every Wednesday we have great shows like this, okay? And we have people from all over the world. But understand something, okay? If I can do it, if Jon can do it, you can do it too.
Absolutely.
And please do not think that this is something I just made up. Because people come to us from all walks of life. Hey, Jon, you know all the courses that I've been doing. We teach thousands of people all over the world. We teach people that today they were thinking suicide. Do we not have people in our course that the day they got here, they were thinking suicide?
Yeah, absolutely. And, the more people that we come across throughout the courses is everybody's got their own little story, but at the end of the day, everybody can relate to them stories.
Everybody can.
At some kind of level in their life. And we're all in the same boat, basically. It's just how are we gonna survive getting through it? So
and that's what we're doing is we're setting up practitioners like Jon all over the world right now.
Yeah.
And I've taught thousands of practitioners, and we'll be in a stop in Mexico as well. And understand something, if you want to take my whole life coach course, you don't even have to become a whole life coach. I mean, it's just going to save your butt and more. It's going to help your family out. You can take my whole life coach course online, okay? The next one will be in February, and it's online. Or you can come to see me and understand there's nothing as powerful as coming and taking a course, right here, toe to toe. And our courses are small, aren't they?
Yeah, they're small.
They're small.
Yeah.
Everybody gets looked after.
Yeah.
And everybody gets looked after in the way that we are able to take them and open them up and show them what a beautiful flower they are. Yeah. Thank you for joining me. Again, thanks, Jon.
Yeah, thank you.
Would you like to say anything to all our beautiful audience?
I'd love to hear from anybody and hear your story and see how we can help. So check us out at Frequent Vitality, or go to our website, or check us out on Facebook, Frequent Vitality, or check out our website, frequentvitality.com.
And remember something, we all have a story. Let Jon, let me, let one of our practitioners around the world rewrite your story, okay? Here's to you. 3, 2, 1. You got this, Braveheart. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.